Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. Monday. How quickly these weekends go, isn't it? It's ridiculous how quickly these weekends go. But it always helps when West Ham win on a weekend. Getting up on Monday morning. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Give it a bloody good subscribe. The race for Europa League is still on. Unbelievably. But obviously we've got all Europa Conference as well. Europe is very much a possibility. I think we probably need. We'll have a talk about it in the tick actually, looking at the rest of the people around us in terms of what they're playing and how many games they've got and yada yada yada. But I thought it was probably our easiest game this season. No disrespect to Norwich, but we pretty much cruised that, didn't we? Why can't we do that on Thursday? But anyway, at least it sort of gave some sort of closure to the week. Obviously, the hysteria leading up to Thursday, disappointment of Thursday, and then pulling 4 past Norwich. It's not a bad end to the week. Obviously, it would have been a lot better if we still had a Europa League final in a fortnight's time, but it wasn't meant to be. Let's see, you're having the chat. We've got. I'm just going to move this. Hello, nothing extreme. I'm just going to move it because I've put it on a stand and it's bloody annoying. Oh God! Now I can't get it off. That's what she said. That's better. Apologies for the close look at my cheeks so early on. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Because I'm looking at too far ahead of me. Daughter got us tickets from Ironclad, but we sat in behind the goal with the Norwich supporters. Hard to keep quiet, indeed, especially when you had that much of a 4-0. I think we're the first team ever to beat Norwich in consecutive seasons by 4-0 or something ridiculous like that. But you had a chat with Stuart Pearce and a selfie with Sir Trev. Lovely. Afternoon, Alfie. Hope you're well. Ludders is in the house. Good afternoon. Happy Hammerette. Was a great game. We didn't stop singing all the way. And had to see. It seemed coming through this on the telly. It very much was the greatest hits. If it was like a compilation of that. Now that's what I call West Ham in terms of the chants. It was all of them were there, weren't they? Ludic McCloskey, all of them. There's Happy Birthday, Lanzini, all of them. You're going to play. You're going to Coventry, all that type of stuff. No disrespect to Norwich, but they were shit. They certainly were. Happy, oi. The positive now is that we have a 4 weeks rest between the lot. Exactly. Oh. And breathe. It's the Hammers Player Awards tonight, so we may be doing Anton may be doing a stream, sort of following that tonight. If not, he'll be covering that tomorrow in the Daily Show. But we'll have 5 o'clock tonight. Hammers headlines, where we talk about some stuff from Bowen. We talk about a couple of transfer news stories as well. So it's interesting. Have missed you, Russ. I've missed you too, Happy. There we go. Russ is having a bit of a bust up with the camera. It wasn't the camera. It's one of these. So I decided to put it on a Gobi. It's not going to mean anything to a lot of people. But I thought I'd just leave it on top of my... But then I'm too looking, and I can't... It didn't work. Hence why I kicked off. I think 9 league goals for Antonio Bone and Benrahma. Who will hit double figures? No, I think Bowen's got 10. Bad's got 10 in overall. Let's have a look. I thought Bowen had 10. Someone had definitely Bowen had something to do with 10 because Bowen became Let me have a quick look. What's his stats? What's his stats? Players. I thought Bowen had 10. Come on, when you're ready. Yeah, Bowen, come on. Because I'll tell you for why. Because we talk about it at Hammer's Headlines at 5 o'clock tonight about Jarrod Bowen. So this season, he's got 10 goals. He's already got 10 goals for West Ham. And he bloody well hope so, because that's the first news story I talk about later on today. Gazza's in the house. Good afternoon, Gazza. That game gave us momentum, so we need to push on for. We're all going to talk about it in a tick. I'm scared for the City game. Oh, well, I don't know. Palace could do it for sure. They're all love to demote them to the conference. Could you imagine? Benny has 8 in the Premier League now, exactly. Budgie, good afternoon to you. Yes, I mean, look, where are we? I've done the stats. So that's what's to play for. So 6th, 7th, and 8th. So Man U are currently on 37 points. Currently played 37 games. Are on 58 points with 1 goal difference. They've got Palace away, not next week, the week after. So they've got a 2-week gap until their next game. We've played 36. So for once we've got games in hand on other people. It's always the other way around all season, but it's weird how it sort of worked now. With 55 points and 11 goal difference. Obviously we've got City at home on Sunday, then Brighton away last game of the season, and Wolves have got 50 points out of 35 games with a 1 goal difference. +1 with Man City at home on Wednesday. Then they've got Norwich at home, be a bank of them probably, and Liverpool away. So 2 out of those 3 are tough ones. So if we calculated all of that up, Man U would get a maximum of 61 if they beat Palace. If we've got a maximum of 61, but with a greater goal difference, and Wolves were a maximum of 59 points. So it's all to play for. That is for sure. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think realistically, you're looking at that. I think if we get a point off City, we've done well. Brighton always a tough team to play for us, but I think we'll need a point. 59. Yeah, I think we need City to obviously beat Wolves on Wednesday. So then the maximum they can get will be 59, and then a point at City would guarantee us conference football on goal difference already going into the last game of the season, and they've still got to play Norwich and Liverpool, if my maths are correct. But it's exciting. It's still exciting. As I said, I think we need a point. We need a point out of those two to guarantee conference football, and then arguably 4 points and a win and a draw, and we'd be in the Europa League next year. That ain't bad, is it? That ain't too shabby. Not a bad season, is it? Still not a bad season. We've got a rest indeed. They've got midweek, and also they've got an injury crisis as well. So they've got their defence is completely, we talk about how we've got, everyone's moaning that we had four centre backs and then we had no centre backs. I mean, look at City. City have got, who's out for them? They've got Ruben Diaz, John Stones, and Kyle Walker are all missing for the rest of the season now. People don't moan about their size of their squad, do they? Innit? Chris, hope you're well, my friend. Nervous for the remaining games? Well, it is what it is, isn't it? Afternoon, Peter, hope you're well. Will we finally beat... No, I don't think we will, but hopefully we could do. Yeah, all bit of hope indeed. I mean, it means that, their defence will be very much, the bare bones, although it would still have Nathan Ake still playing. Zinchenko will be there. Cancelo will still be there. They're all right, aren't they? Not too shabby. That Burnley draw and Chelsea loss cost us dearly. Always does, isn't it? Always does. You go back to last season. How many times have we? There was the Brighton game where we drew at home. There was the Arsenal game where we were 3-up and we drew 3-all. There's certain times. Can we discuss the penalty? Why didn't Benny take it? Why didn't we sub on Nobes and let him take it? Well, Lanzini's the penalty taker when Nobes isn't there, isn't it? So actually, I think that's a professional thing to do. In all honesty, but that's just me. I think the players kept their heads high. Fair play to Moyes and changed their negative minds for that one. Indeed, 4 points would be lovely, but I don't think we'll get 4 points. I think we'll Well, some people said we weren't even going to beat Norwich. We beat them, put 4 past them. So if Palace could beat Man U, I mean, it could happen definitely. If Wolves win the Brighton game, it's going to be as big as the semi-final. If Wolves win the Brighton game, they're not playing Brighton. They're not playing Brighton. They could play they played Man City. Anyway, thought our best player was Sam Byram. God bless him. Nice to see him back. Nice to see him the umpire. Particularly when he scored that goal and he got taken off. Afternoon Garino, love the taste of 3 points. Indeed. Think we have an injury crisis with 3. Well, by all accounts, it's one of the 3 are going to be potentially. I mean, I think Syed Benrahma, he left the ground in crutches. He's having a scan today, I believe. So we'll see what happens with that. Just typical, isn't it? Just literally as he's finding form. It always happens with West Ham, innit? The players start finding a bit of form and they get injured. With Craig Dawson and Antonio, both were knocks. Basically said, we've got a week now to get them through, so we'll see. Aside from Zini's our best, he is indeed. Not a bad season, but could have been better with just not. Exactly, Mike. Could have been better. Maybe 1 or 2 players. No guarantee bringing players in January works. Doesn't always work. Players and signings. But Moyes has a good hit rate, so, you'd think it would work, but no guarantee. But as you said, 1 or 2 players in, and you never know, innit? But that's always our way, innit? If buts and maybes, that's basically West Ham, innit? If Cresswell didn't get injured, didn't get sent off on Thursday, we'd have probably done them, innit? But we didn't. So, is what it is. I'm just up the road from Brighton, and I can cook a dodgy lasagna if required. Sounds good, Budgie. Brighton may be on the beach, as technically they have little to play for. Can't qualify for Europe, but they can finish above Wolves. And actually, isn't every spot £500,000 or something like that? So, never know. I would like the Leeds goalkeeper if relegated, plus Areola. You're getting greedy now. Do it, Budgie. We laughed ourselves a bit when Seagulls get the shits. There we go. I wish we took 3 goals from yesterday and put 1 in the Chelsea game. One goal. Yeah, wishful thinking. King of wishful thinking is West Ham. Vishal, hope you're well. Good afternoon to you. Jamie Pax heard we are looking at Kamara, but I don't think we should because players never work for us. Yeah, there was that guy we got. What was his name? Dimitri something. He was shit, wasn't he? He was shit for us. Demetrius. Name escapes me. Boubacar Kamara, but we've been looking at him. We looked at him like during the summer and the January transfer window as well. So, by the looks, it's going to be between us and Villa, I think, potentially. But you never know. United might be sniffing around for him. Any youth to get to the game time, or these 2 games too important to risk? I reckon too important to risk, man. It's frustrating because yesterday would have been a great time, with whether it was. And Antonio got a knock, and if a knocker flex or if Sonny Perkins was on the bench, you'd have given him, I'd have played him just to give him a bit of a run out. But it wasn't to be. We didn't have any youth team players on any under 23s. Ben Johnson doesn't really classify, in my opinion, for an under 23 player now. But bit of a shame, wasn't it? 5 for Fab. Oh, wait. We'll get there eventually. Every spot is £2 million. Well, there we go. Moyes will play for the point versus and hope for a set piece goal. Maybe. Was lucky yesterday. We were already a couple of goals up and Flappy, and I think we should have Ariola now for the last 2. It won't happen. It won't. Hang on, isn't Ariola? Yeah, he is indeed. But I mean, it's a gamble to get players from the French league. Jamie, I think actually we're going to be fishing quite a lot in Liga and Bundesliga. I think those are the 2 leagues that we seem to be having the most links with, and I think that's because there's bargains to be had, and also Liga. All their teams are like, need the money, so that's why. How much did we pick up Russ from being in the semi? How much? I did a thing. I think we made about £8 million. I think in the Europa League. Let's have a quick look. I think we made about. I think it was about £8 million. I had it here before because we was doing it before. Let's have a look. Right, so we made. So for group stage qualification was 4.1. This is in dollars, but $4.1 million. And then for every win was 700,000. For the group winners was 1.2 million. Round of 16 was 1.3 million. Quarterfinals was 2 million. Semi-finalist was 3 million. So we made quite a bit of cash. I think we made about 10 million quid. I think out of it, I believe. What we got here? Hope we just got it versus great goal difference should be an issue if Ariel goes up. I think for me, I don't necessarily. I see the City game as a gimme, and not a gimme, as a free hit, because they're going for the title, aren't they? And so we'll see what happens on Wednesday, the Wolves game. See how Wolves react, because Wolves have got everything to play for as well. I mean, if they beat City, that's the game in hand really, and then it's down to us for that. So they're still in the hunt for conference qualification. So we'll see, but I think I'd rather get. I can see us getting a draw against City. They'll be more susceptible at the back, and hopefully our towels be up a little bit. But City is City, though, isn't it? Finally got my hat. Oh, very good. GP's back on his normal account. Good to see it. I'd set for a forward and Calvin Phillips. Lovely. Go for it. Indeed. Visit last night. West Ham impressive performance. Bring some smiles on faces once again. A live European League. Indeed. Told you last week, West Ham are like the love of my life. So hindsight, just an update for me. The wife are all golden, and my team are still massive. Nice to see, mate. You should invite Swish Ramble from Twitter in one of these shows. Okay. Is Noble going to start against City and get subbed off in the 60th minute, or is he to come on? I don't think we can have, no disrespect to Mark, but I don't think we can afford to be, yes. It's a fine thing, isn't it? Because you want to. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of build up about him. I don't think he'll start. I don't think he will start because by his own admission, he wants. You want to put your best team out, and Mark said that as well. So, yeah, we'll see. Of course, they didn't even consider the gate receipts. Indeed, if Leeds go down, is Calvin Phillips the perfect replacement? No, I think he's a perfect second. Brothers in arms with Declan Rice, not a replacement. For me, the money may have made from is secondary to respect we've earned in the process. Very good, Budgie. Would that Europa run help us get a better deal with sponsors? No, of course it will, and players as well. I mean, we were on the the European stage, and people have seen the how far we've gone, particularly if we qualify again. You'd think people will want to get on board at an earlier stage because I don't think anyone really fancied our chances in the Europa League, to be honest. And yeah, definitely, it would have been probably more if we'd played maybe Barcelona instead of Frankfurt, arguably in the semis, just because of the draw that sort of the shine that Barcelona had given you. But definitely, and for players as well. There's lots of players that we were linked with who didn't really want us at all, and now they're coming back sort of a little bit tail between their legs. But I don't mind that. Because that's the same with the fan base. Really, a lot of people haven't really fancied. Some people, hardened fans, always go. But there was some not fair weather fans, but a group who, maybe when they start playing well, will come to watch more and more games and stuff. And I don't mind that players rejected us because we weren't very good, and now they want to play for us because we are quite good. That means we're improving. Surely, if Noble's featured in both of these, he will end with 550 games. Very nice indeed. If Noble had come off the bench to take the penalty against Man United, the games we would be above Man. We would be if he'd scored that. When you start the transfer rumour shows, well, we're going to be doing. We do it every so often, don't we? But we'll be doing them probably more regularly when the season's finished. In terms of what coming up this week, probably tomorrow, Wednesday, we're actually going to have a Mark Noble quiz night. So we usually do like these quiz, don't we, where you get involved and answer questions. But we're doing dedicated to Mark this week. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, we might do a panel show as well. We do have your say, and maybe we'll have your say looking in front, in terms of summer transfers. You coming on and giving yours. Who do you want to buy? Who, if you're West Ham, who specifically you want to bring in? I'll probably do that as well. Too many people sniffing around Calvin he is indeed. I heard people say that we'd rather have no confidence. No, that's idiots, innit? Idiots. No, I think for me, it's any European football is good. And honestly, I think the conference would be a fantastic opportunity for us to qualify for Europe next year. Next year's going to be harder. The Premier League's going to get tougher. Every year it's getting tougher with more and more teams investing. I think Villa are going to be stronger next season. Newcastle definitely going to be stronger next season. You don't know how Fulham are going to play when they come in. You don't know how Bournemouth are going to. You always have one of them tends to have like a little bit of a one season wonder type thing. So it's going to be really tough to emulate what we've done this season in the league. And so I think with the conference, it's definitely the easiest way to qualify. Not the easiest, but in theory, you have to only win 12 games or something like that, and you're in Europe next season with the Europa League. So we'll see. We get Europa League. Wolves get conference and Man U get FL. Could that happen? No, that can't happen. No, it won't be able to happen. It won't be able to happen because the maximum Wolves gets 15. I suppose, yeah, if Wolves win every one of their games and we win all our games, then end up on 59. Potentially, you're right. Yeah, 59 because the goal difference will improve as well. Interesting. Yeah, could you imagine? That'd be hilarious. Could you imagine? That's me. Could you imagine what's the name? Ten Hag, taking over and it's like no European football. I want Rangers to spank Frankfurt. Loads of lovely love from Rangers fans, from West Ham fans, from Rangers fans, isn't there, on Twitter and stuff, because they're offering there's seats and there's flights and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant. Plenty of time to say farewell to Mark before, during and after. Indeed, definitely after. I think Noel's birthday played a part in our form. Last home game against City had the same effect on our confidence and form. Let's hope so. We have to remember we had a very fair group this year, so 100% we should keep qualified. But we have to manage expectations a little. I agree. We can't play silly buggers just to make note. You're totally right, Andy. And I don't think nobody would want us to play silly buggers, to be honest. There'll probably be some sort of, we'll be doing stuff before the match and after the match, definitely. But no, I totally agree. Luke is asking people to say a farewell to Nose by doing a video and sending them to Luke. Which Luke? Fair play. What player gets the most? Well, what we're going to do, PCAD, we're going to do a little bit of a West Ham Network end of season awards as well. Voted for you guys. We'll put a little poll up, which you can go in and vote anonymously for your most improved, best signing. We did sign a couple of players. The best signing, breakthrough player, best, so it's just as not as prestigious as the West Ham Player Awards, but hopefully it'll be interesting. Get some good fun. Noble to score last minute penalty. That'd be lovely. Getting over, I guess, next season. We'll see. I'm not going to see Wolves tonight. Anton may do a stream with it tonight. If not, he'll cover it tomorrow in the Daily Show. Unpopular opinion, but I'd rather be in the conference next season. Do you know what? I would rather be in the conference, I think, next season, because you get the shit from the Europa League going in rather than the shit from the Champions League. There's still some good teams in there, and I think you could. It's as I said, it's probably the easiest route to get through to qualifying for next year. How is your bet for the third and final relegation spots? Who is your bet? I think it's Leeds. I like Leeds, but I think it's Leeds, unfortunately. Right. I'm just going through some of these quickly. Good morning, Scott. Hope you're well. Woke up to snow this morning. It was lovely. It was lovely and sunny in Hornchurch today. Be nice to see Forest come back up a proper ground. No, I want Luton to come up. Loads of ex-West Ham. I think it's 6 ex-West Ham players are in there. And Kenneth Brody's such a dump as well. And that'd be quite funny. But also, the initial hatred of Luton. Robert Banks, he'll get a few more sales of his book after that. But no, yeah, I wouldn't mind Luton coming up, because that'd be a really sort of rags to riches, wouldn't it? But also in terms of Forest, I want Joe Worrell. I think it'd be quite good for us. He's like a young Craig Dawson and Brennan Johnson as well. West Ham will see him Yates faces and Yates is in there. We'll try. What we got? Alex Cross signing the season. We'll do that. Noble will be a club captain. Does the club? No, they don't have a most improved award because that's like the Clubman Award, is it? But we'll have the most improved player. The West Ham Network Awards. There we go. I so wish I could have gone to the awards tonight. Imagine being that close to ZZ. There we go. Conference begins in July, I'm sure, indeed. But then that sort of sets up. That's our pre-season getting sorted, isn't it? And I think actually, I don't think we start until August in the conference. We have to play a playoff, a two-legged playoff in. I think it's sort of mid-August. So literally, as the new season kicks in, which helps us get. For me, that would help us get our games in or get our reps in terms of getting into the groove. So that's not so bad, I think. Hornchurch, anyway, talking with Russ, you better believe it, GP. Watch out, you get banned again. Luton won't be allowed to play at their grounds. I don't know, actually. I think they'd have to redevelop some of it, that's for sure. Please, please, please don't let Liverpool win the quad. From what I've seen, Brent shows, I weren't a big fan, but I agree with you. And Warren would be a good signing. Will Noble be in the starting lineup? No, I wouldn't think so. The Premier League begins early. It does begin because of the Christmas World Cup. Best thing about conference, a bucket load of Maltese teams. Bucket load of Maltesers. And there ain't some bad teams that have already qualified. Teams like, someone put it on a group chat. I can't find it now typically, but it's like Nice, and there's some really nice, yeah, that wasn't meant to be a pun, but there's quite a lot in there. I've only seen 4 or 5, so I haven't seen much of them. Where's the club going? I don't know, actually. I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to pre-season to Australia, going down under. Good afternoon, Rob. Right, anyway, let's get through the ratings. Obviously, every day, every game, Monday after the game, the night before or the weekend before, we do our ratings. I'll give you my views, and then you give me your views. Well, you give me your views, and then I'll give you my views. So let's start. Let's start with Fabianski. Let me put a decent background in quickly, because I don't like that background. I must have deleted it for some reason. Bosh. No, let's go. We played away. Let's play away. We played away. Fabianski. Mostly sunbait. Yeah, he didn't really have much to do at all, did he? Let's be honest. And what he did do, unfortunately, there was the flapping incident. There was a flapping incident. He was fortunate enough he got away with that one. Otherwise, really unworked, really. I mean, for me, he did a smart block. It was a smart save he did on Pookie late on, and he kept a clean sheet. So what we got here? We got 9, 6, 5, 6, 6. Oh, Audi's in the chat. How you doing, mate? Audi's my biggest critic. Don't overdo it because Norwich are a poor team. No, but if the team play well, they play well, my friend, and they are still a Premier League team. But I know what you mean. 8, 6. He gets a clean sheet. I've gone with a 6. As you said, kept a clean sheet. Did his job. That's it. Pete's has to go to work. That's a shame. Vishal went 7. I don't think he deserves a 7. 5 or 6, 7. I went with 6. Right, let's move on. Let's go to Vladimir Sufal. I thought he had a really good game, actually. He did a great cross. I think was it the first half? Which was that sort of when the ball came across. Deck did was it first half? I can't remember. It might be second half, actually, where Deck did a crossfield ball to Sufal on the volley cross. And then I think Fornals then took a first-time shot and it was well saved. I thought he played quite well. To be honest. Good game. Probably his best game for a while, I think, was Sufal. I'll be honest. What we got here? 7 from Sufal. 7, 8. I agree. Best game since he's come back from injury. Best game. For me, I think the team came out to a man with... Let's get Thursday out of our mind. Because literally, we never start fast. We never start strongly. But we did. And we set the tone. And we set the tempo really, really quickly. Which is really unlike us. So, yeah. 6, 8, Super 4. 7 for Vlad the Impaler. 9 from Vishal. I went with a 7. I thought he had a good game. Best game, as I said, from injury. Same as what James said. Craigie boy Dawson. Ballon Dawson. He did a very important block. I remember on Billy Gilmore's was it a volley or first time shot, something like that. And he in essence won the penalty, which was a bizarre penalty, in all honesty. But obviously limped off as a result of winning the penalty, having like fallen straight into the advertising hoardings, which are very, very hard because they're all very LEDs. But I thought he had a strong game. I mean, to be honest, the back five, including the goalkeeper, did a lot of sunbathing yesterday. I wasn't really impressed. I thought Norwich, they were almost like after a while they just wanted to keep it down, keep the score down. But his aerial presence meant that there was that weird handball and it was a penalty. Very strange. Let's see what we got. Love lad, hard as nails he is. 7 or 8 for me. You must remember he won the penalty and did. 8, double VAR in our favour. Shame about the injury. 7, 8, 8, 7. 8, you just know he'll be there on Sunday. Of course he will, but he'll be fine. 8, 9, Norwich are about as threatening as Anton tied up and naked. You're getting naughty again, GP. 6 for Dawson. I went for a 7. Thought we had a good game, solid game. Kept a clean sheet and did his job. The back four and the goalkeeper kept a clean sheet. So therefore, and that's what they meant. That's what they're paid to do. That's what they're paid to do. Let's move on. Let's talk about Zuma. I mean, to be honest, Pookie was more on Zuma's side. Again, I always feel sorry for Zuma when he has to play on the left. He seems more comfortable on the right, but Dawson isn't as comfortable on the left as Zuma is. So you're playing with 2 right-footed centre-backs. So obviously we know that's going to be an area which is going to be looked at in the summer. And indeed, when Deck had to come into centre-back, Deck played on the left and Zuma played on the right, and I thought that looked a lot better. And he felt a lot more secure. I mean, it was easy day, really, didn't he? He had an easy day, I think, to be honest. I mean, we got Zoom 7, didn't need to do much. 7, great play to do loads to the game. 7, Sharky, 7, 7, 7. What does Ali said? Russ, can we trust Moyes in the board recruitment? Should we finish and qualify for Europe? Would 8th not be better so we can concentrate on domestics? Possibly, Aldi. I mean, look at Arsenal. Arsenal didn't have any European football this season, and they would proverbially qualify. That's a long word. I think I've used it in the right context. But they'd qualify every year for Europe, and last year they didn't, which was a bit of a shock to them. But they freshened up the squad. They had a bit of a blip, and they've come quite strong towards the end. Just as probably the teams that have been in Europe are starting to tire because the amount of games. We've played over 50 games this season, so yeah, it may benefit. But for me, I'd rather I think qualifying for Europe should be, what we need to do, because whether it's Europa League or Conference, I'm not fussed with either, to be honest, as long as we're in Europe, because I think it's not for the players, but I think for the fans as well, because it's they've got the taste for that away days, and it just puts us on a different level. It puts us in a different bracket in terms of signings and stuff. And we know, I think this year was almost like testing our water in terms of, we know we can't have a small squad and compete on all fronts. So there needs to be investment. And there will be investment because, everyone sees it. Even Moyes does say it. He does see it. So I think let's judge everything at the end of the transfer window. And then everyone can have an honest opinion then, can't we? Until anything that happens either way, we don't really know, do we? But you know me, Aldi. That's why I piss you off sometimes, because I am so optimistic. 7, 6, 8. I went looked great since going back. Maybe has looked great since maybe he's been rushed. Maybe. I went with a 7. Thought it was a good game. Let's talk about the man with the magic hat. Clearly, for me, the opening for 15, 20 minutes, I thought there was a hangover from Frankfurt. He looked nervous. He looked cagey. He grew into the game a bit, but he was quietly. I think one of them was the Evening Standard called him quietly solid, and I think that was fair enough. He didn't do anything to warrant being shouted at, but he didn't do anything to say good game. Do you know what I mean? He was sort of in the middle there. I thought he played an okay game. Budgie's gone for 6. Russ, if you qualify for should Blood on 23s? No, I don't think he should. I don't think he should, Aldi, and I'll be honest. And the reason why is because it's the easiest, it's the simplest way to get into the Europa League following year. And we know, and we know he won't. We know he won't. I would like to have seen him. I think the only way we should blood him in is if we've already qualified like we did this season. That's honestly, I think that's what personally. But I know some people think we should do. But personally, I don't think we should because I think there's lots of interest. I think it's really important to keep well. Had there been who performed as well, especially playing Thursdays for both? I don't think so, and particularly across Europe as well. I mean, Lyon, a 10th. Sevilla were obviously the exception to the rule. Frankfurt a 10th as well, and then the final. Rangers it's them and Celtic anyway, but I don't think there's that many in terms of consistently playing well, particularly in our first year as well. Wolves, remember Wolves qualified for Europe, they were absolutely shit that season, so I don't think people give us enough credit for what we've done in terms of such a small squad as well. Anyway, back to Crest, 6, 6, 7, clearly effective, yep, 7, 6, bless him, so much hate after he's red. Fair play, did well. 7, 6, 7. Showing levels, now a squad player. No, I agree. 6, get Europe out of his system. For some games I would try, but not for the decent teams, indeed. 6, he didn't get sent off, so a 9. There we go. I would set up for a 6 as well. I didn't think he played a fantastically brilliant game. Anyway, sorry, hello Kieran, hope you're well. You just came in there, sorry. So Declan Rice, do you know what? Like yesterday, I sat back because we were sort of like quite. I mean, I said it. I reckon it's probably our easiest game this season. I think everyone's agreed. It was a walk in the park. It really was. And I was watching, so I could sit there and watch Declan Rice play. And fuck, he's a good player, isn't he? And yesterday was back to his best, and maybe it was because obviously the team news came out. We didn't have Souček in there. I think that was good. I think it was good for both. I think it was good for the team. I think it was good for Declan Rice. I think it was good for Souček as well. Showing that we don't need Souček and Rice to both play every game. I think that's a huge thing because sometimes you don't need, it's a bit overkill, and I'd rather them play the extra sort of attacking midfielder for these types of games. But some of his passing, beautiful. Those crossfield passes. As I said, he did that crossfield pass which went all the way to Soufal, who then volleyed it in for them 4 hours to header it. It was offside, but absolutely some beautiful movement, and he dominated that midfield. Absolutely dominated it, and then obviously played centre back and was probably our best centre back at the club as well. He's amazing, absolutely amazing. What we got? 8s, 9s, 7s, 7s. They finished 8th that season. Next season they say West Ham done. Indeed we have 7 Rice potential. I mean, he's got to be player of the year, and he's got to be the hammer of the year. And he's and if you look at the team, yeah, Dawson's the most improved, yeah. Bowen's had a great season, but when Declan Rice isn't playing, we don't play. He's our best player, so he should be our hammer of the year. I hope he is, because it just adds that extra. You can't leave because that extra sort of like emotional blackmail. But we'll see what happens tonight. So reliable. Doesn't need a partner. Maybe Rice is playing for a move. Doesn't want to play conference. I don't think. I think Declan won't mind, honestly. 8, 9. We've been extremely lucky to keep hold of this boy. Yep, we will be. 9. Rice needs a player called Tony Curry. Right, very good. 6. Jason, wow. 6. Okay, no, I went with a 9. Man of the match. It was my man of the match. Just not because he scored. Not because he scored goals or because just of his overall play. I thought he was dominant. I don't think I've seen him be so dominant, and he didn't have a great team. And I think Aldi said it was Norwich, but I thought he was just dominant, absolutely dominant. And I just sat back and watched him in awe. Let's go to Mr. Fornals, the fornicator. I thought he had a good game. He has had a couple of dodgy games recently, but I thought he played well. Late runs into the box, had that great header. I know, Sharky. I know it's unusual. I think I actually meant to put 8, but I've just sort of started it over instead of 9. But anyway, ignore me. But yeah, I thought he had a good game. He was, I think, with that extra, he had a bit more license. I think him and Lanzini had a little bit more license with the ball with that extra, because they had an extra midfielder. So I just don't know. I thought he has. It was a really good game for him. I thought Fornals was good. I thought sevens. 7.5, no point. There's no half points in this game, Kieran. There's no percentages. 7, 8, 7, 8, 7. If Moyes maintains top 7 next season goes, that would be unbelievable. Mate, it's unprecedented. Even if we finish 7th this season, unprecedented. We have never in our career, in our West Ham history, not with Billy Bonds, not with Vic Watson, not with Phil Parks and Bobby Moore and Trevor Brooking, not one club, not one era of West Ham have finished in the top division, in the top 7 in consecutive years. Ever. And I don't think people will understand that. And that's why I keep banging on about it. That is huge. That is huge. We haven't qualified for Europe twice in consecutive. No, not John Lyle. No one. No one. Where's my thing? I'll show you. Not one time have we done that. And I don't think people really understand that. It's huge. We've never qualified for Europe 2 years consecutively as well, ever in our history. I think we've finished. I'm just waiting for my things to load up. Was that it? No, it wasn't it. Oh, where's that gone? Bloody thing. I did it on the other day. Anyway, but yeah, so it was consecutively finishing in the top flight, in the top seasons, twice. So no one's done it. And we could do it again. And if we did it for a third time, we get even worse. You just keep going. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Because it's an interesting... where is it? Is it that one? I did this positivity thing on Friday. Let me find it. We'll keep going because it's a really it was a really interesting point. But we got 8s, 7s. I keep putting the same bloody thing up. Slides. Let's go with 51. Where is it? Where are you? Let's be having you. Where are you? I'll try that one. I don't think it's that one either. 4 now, 6, 7. The next season, I think. No, he didn't. Not consecutive. Greetings from Rick. Hope you well. Do you know that? Well, I'm always indeed. I understand it. Russ had to live it. Exactly. You would have been there. You'd been there, my friend. Oh, I can't believe I can't find it. It's so annoying. But we've only finished in the top flight. I think we've only finished half dozen times ever in the top 6. It's a absolutely crazy stat. And I don't think people understand that. We have a good season and then we have shits, like 3 or 4 shit seasons. That's not what we do now. That's not who we need to be. We need to be having consistently good seasons. I can't believe I can't find it. It says somewhere. I'm really annoyed. I know. Anyway, 4 nows. I put 4 nows for a 7. Anyway, that's what I put him down for. Let's move on because I'm really passionate about that because we all want consistency, and I just want 2 good. I just want a season like 4 or 5 seasons where we're always finishing in the top 8. Could you imagine? Be incredible. Lanzini, Manu. He obviously played in that deeper role, which was sort of, instead of Souček, and I thought he played really well. A little bit more of the ball as well. He's been a bit sort of like hit and miss a little bit. But I thought he was a lot strong. He was getting more involved yesterday. He played that same position. Was it against Burnley? I want to say. I think it was Burnley. And I thought. Yeah, was it Burnley last? He played that position at Burnley away, I think it was. And it does suit him. He obviously scored the goal as well. And penalty was a very coolly taken penalty. Yeah, I mean, I think originally he started as like next to Rice and realised actually Norwich were doing a bit of fuck all, to be honest, and then he started going forward a little bit more. 8, 7, 8. Lanzini, no bias for me, but man of the match 9. There we go. He's been poor. He has been 7. It's sad he was injured. Makes you wonder how good he would have been. Yeah, fits and starts. I think with Manu as well. He was riding high when he was playing with Payet, and then he left, and then he got injured and he came back, and he was the guy. He was our rough diamond. He was the one that we were pinning our hopes on, and I don't think he plays well when he's the main man. I think he plays well when he's got a team around him. And, he comes back in. He came back in last season with Lingard, and they worked well together. They gelled. He's come back in now, and he's working well with Ben Rama. Fornals, these guys are sort of playing around him. And I think it's benefiting. 7, 8, 7, 7, 8. If you're calling for him to move in CDM for a while, he's been good. No, I think it's not even a CDM. He's like the quarterback role in it. That's what people talk about it. And he does have nice legs. Kieran, 8 nobody like Lanzini. 7s. I put him down for a 7 as well. So there we go. Quite simple. Benny Rama. Obviously scored, opened the score with that deflected shot. And then just before half time, scored a great finish. The last game, ignore the Frankfurt game, but Frankfurt at home, that game and the last sort of 90 minutes there yesterday, 90 minutes did he come on as a sub? No, yeah, 75. Okay, so 75 minutes there, 20 minutes, probably the best 90 odd minutes he's been playing. I thought he was really good. And typical, he's just finding this real vein of form, and he could be. I mean, he's having his scan today on his ankle, but potentially he might not. I don't think he won't play. No, I don't think he. I don't know. We'll see. And scans are funny old things, isn't it? Lanzini's been replaced by Gallagher, in my opinion. Ooh, 7, 9, 10, 9, 8, 8. 9, 10, 8, 9, 9. Ben Rama looking good. He is Audi. Confidence was going through the roof after his first goal in 12. Great performance, and will help him for the rest of the weekend. Yeah, well, hopefully he's going to still play some games for next week. 7 was 9. Okay, 9 man the match of Budgie. Vischer's gone 9. Thought he was supposed to be back at the end of the season. Well, he wasn't. He is training, but I don't know. I thought we might do, but I reckon we might see him on the bench maybe. 8. Is that because Benny played in the middle? I just think he had a bit more license because Norwich weren't very good, and I think he had a bit more space. I hate to say it, but Norwich are a championship side. I hate to say it, but maybe that's I don't know. But I thought he had a really good game, so I put him down for an 8. He took a whack to his nose and thought it was bleeding, but he did a Dawson and carried on. No, fair play to him. Bowen, again, he's on fire. And I said we're going to talk about him tonight on Hammer's Headlines at 5:00 because of what he did yesterday and what that means for his season. Because he now has got 10 assists, 10 goals, and only Salah has got that. In what's name? Only Salah's got that in terms of the season so far, so it equals Salah. And then only one other person's done that in West Ham history, and that's Paolo Di Canio. In the Premier League history, I think. So 99-2000 season, he got 16 and 13. So he's on fire, isn't he? Russ, would you sell Ben Rama? Oof. Well, 3 games ago I would have. But every game changes your opinion, doesn't it, Ali? So for me, I mean, he's a great player. There's no denying he's such a skillful player, and he's so skillful. But I don't think he fitted in the Moyes system. But Moyes has been playing a couple of different systems recently, and he seems to be playing well. That Frankfurt home game, he came on as an impact player. I think that's when he's most useful, when the game's stretched. When it's really tight, he's not very good. He's not as useful. You want someone who fits in and just does a job. But when the game is stretched and there's more time to play, more time in the ball, that's when he comes on his own. Yeah, and there's no denying he's a fantastic player. But we'll see. Hi, Simon. Hope you're well. Boeing 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 8. Our most dangerous offensive player. So consistent. 10. He created all the goals aside from the pen. 9, 7, 8. A hat-trick of assists. Is that right? I believe so. Please do. I think Benny and Vlasic deserve next season to show us what they are. Well, I think last season Bowen was the sub, wasn't it? Last season Bowen was the sub. He'd always be subbed on, subbed off. And so this year it's Benny. So I think it's just his turn. 7, 8, good effort and no hangover from Frankfurt. Yes, 3 assists. You can't ignore that. You can't indeed. I don't want to be a hater, but if people don't see it yesterday, it's time for a red. He won't be, Scott. You know he won't be. He won't be for the rest of this season. You know it's going to be Fabianski. 8, 8, 9. Be a perfect place for Vlasic to prove himself. You're totally right, actually. It's a great shout. Always a 7 and above, no matter the day. Same as Rice, really. Put him down for an 8. I thought he had a very good game. And lastly, Antonio. We won't cover the subs today because I'm overrunning today. Antonio, obviously first league goal since New Year's Day. We're in bloody May. 5 months he's missed. He hasn't scored in the Premier League, which is mental. And obviously it was an absolute gift. Defensive error. But I think his physicality, was part to play with that, because he was in that mix with the defender, with Hanley and Krul, and he was in the middle. And so, yeah, I thought he played okay for the first. Obviously went off, and felt those effects of was it Sam Byram did the tackle on him? I think it was, and went off at half time. So I can't give him a massive score because he only played half the game. 8 looks knackered but keeps going. He's a battering ram, isn't he? He's a battering ram. 7, 8, 7, 7. I think people don't realise as well, because he's so muscular. It takes a lot more out of him than just an average person to walk. Because he's carrying all that weight. It's like me. It's like I'm a big lad. I'm a big, not muscular, but I'm a big lad. And so for me, I'll get out of breath quicker than a skinny Ginny, that type of thing. That's just the way it works. It's the same principle, I think. 7 does a lot without the ball. He's tremendous indeed. 7. Most games without scoring plus a goal is 9. Wow. 7, 7, 5. Best game in 5 months. Moyes screened him and he was screaming at him yesterday. He is gone next season. Mark my words. Glad Ant's gotten score. 7-10s was the best game. What was your best game this season? Mine was Leicester. Everything clicked. Probably the Liverpool game, I think, maybe. No, it's got to be Sevilla at home. We're backing up striker at least. He's underrated and overrated at the same time. I went with a 6 because he only played half a game. You look better in full flow than a skinny. There we go, you see. And I mean, once I get up to full pace, you don't want to be in my way. And obviously we had Yarmane came on. He played okay. Didn't do much, to be fair. Noble came on, little cameo. And obviously Declan went to centre back. Did all right. Nothing to write home about. And Vlasic came on, and I had forgotten he even come on, to be honest. Clattered a few of ours, making a point. Yeah, I think Sam Byron was. 6, his magic isn't there anymore. Hopefully it can be found again. Well, I think for a lot of these players, particularly the Czech boys and Declan Rice, with the Euros and stuff, they haven't had a rest for about 2.5 years, really. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, peeps, thank you very much for your time, as always. If you like it round here, give it a like. Give it a like right now. Just give it a like. Give it a like if your team won 4-0. I'll wait. Thank you very much. As I said, if you're new around here, I don't think many people are, but give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Also, as I said, we'll be doing a Noble quiz this week, so keep an eye out for that. I think it might be tomorrow or Wednesday. Anton might be doing a live stream of the Player Awards tonight, if Mrs. Anton will let him. And also anyone around the sort of Hornchurch, Romford area, we've got a really good night on Friday. I'll be there with a few others. An evening of well, not even midfielders, evening of wingers with Mark Ward, Stuart Slater, Matty Effington and Trevor Sinclair. A few tickets still available, I believe, for me, and all his details are there. Also, there's loads of Canning Town Lens paintings will be there as well on display, so you can have a look and buy them as well. Absolutely phenomenal paintings that Len's doing. It's brilliant. So check them all out. And as I said, it's always a good night. Wardy's always a good host, and there'll be obviously signed things to bid for the auctions, and a real sort of mishmash of ex-players, and I think it'd be quite interesting. Matty Everton's quite quiet. Trevor's obviously quite outspoken, for those of you who listen to him on Talk Sport. Stu's lovely, and Wardy's just Wardy, so it's going to be really good fun, and there'll be lots of people there, so make sure you check that out. And that's it, my friends. If you're new around here, you want to become a channel member, hit the join button down there. We've got over 50 on the channel so far, and you automatically get entered into the monthly draws for all memorabilia. We had a signed program which we raffled beginning of the month. Previous month it was a signed shirt as well, so there's always stuff going on. So I'd like to thank you all personally, and I'd like to thank all our members as well. So take care, everyone, stay safe, stay lucky, stay cheeky, stay positive. The race for Europe is still very much on. Ciao for now, my friends. See ya. Don't want to be ya.
It's like a family tree.